Hey, what's up guys, it's Marla Kani here. So in today's video we're going to be exploring what is if statement and how do we use it. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so first of all, what is if statement? The if statement is a way to tell Python only run this code if a certain condition is true. You think of it like asking a question. If it's raining, then take an umbrella. Otherwise, don't take one. That's just exactly how if statement works. So basically Python checks the condition and then decides whether to run the code inside. Alright, so the if statement lets you run code only when a condition is true. So let's just write an example in here. So let's write x is equal to 10, and then if x is greater than 5, if x is greater than 5, then print the number is greater than 5. Alright, now once you finish writing that, we're gonna execute the code, and then once you run the code, I forgot indentation. Alright, if x is greater than 5, print the number is greater than 5. And as you can see, 10 is obviously greater than 5, and that's why it executed the program. The number is greater than 5. But if x would have been less than 5, then the output would show nothing. That's because the if statement always runs the conditions that are true, but never runs the conditions that are false. So in this case, 10 is less than 5. This is false. So this is why it didn't print the numbers greater than 5. Alright, now let's use another example, which is an if-else statement, because sometimes you want two choices. One if the condition is true, and the other if it's false. So that's where if-else comes in. So now let's write another example for you to understand the if-else statement. Y is equal to 3 if y modulus 2 is greater if y modulus 2 equals 0, then print y is y is even, or else if y isn't even. So the else statement goes by like if the condition in the if statement is false, then it's always gonna run the condition inside of the else statement. Else print y is odd. Now once you run this code, 3 modulus 2, if it's 0, then it's gonna print y is even. But if it's not 0, then it's gonna print y is odd. And I forgot to put it in double quotation marks. Alright. Now once you run this code, alright guys, so once you run this code, it's gonna end up printing y is odd. You know why? Because the modulus operator actually finds the remainder. So basically it does 3 divided by 2. So basically 2 can never reach 3, you know. So it's 2 times 1, and 2 times 2 is 4. Like it can never reach 3. So 2 times 1 is 2. So to find the remainder between 3 and 2, you do 3 minus 2, which is 1. The remainder actually is 1. But here we said in order for it to print y is even, the remainder should have been 0. So yeah, so the remainder is actually 1. So that's why it went on the else statement and ended up printing the y is odd. Alright guys. Now let's use another example of an if ELIF else chain. So what if you have more than 2 choices? That's where ELIF comes in, short for else if. So now let's write a new example so that you guys can understand what is an ELIF statement. So we're gonna write a code in here. Age is equal to 18, okay, and then if age is less than 13, then print you are a child. But L else if age is less than 18, meaning if the age is less than 18, then you're gonna write print you are a teenager, I think. All right. Or else print you are an adult. Alright, now let's find out what the output is gonna be. Since we set the age to 18, you guys have to guess what the output would be. So I'm gonna be giving you guys 1 second to pause the video and think about it. Alright, so basically once we run the code, the output is actually you are an adult. So yeah. You know why? That's because it said else you're an adult. So basically 18 is never less than 18. So it would never print you're a teenager. And 18 is never less than 13. It's actually greater than 13. So it would never print you're a child. So that's why it went on the else statement. Basically the else statement means if all of these conditions are false, then you should end up printing you're an adult. So yeah. Now let's learn nested if statements. So you can also put an if statement on another if statement. So inside another if statement. This is called a nested if. So now let's write another example for you guys to understand the nested if statements. So number is equal to -5 if number is greater than or equal to 0. Always remember indentation. Indentation basically means that you have to put tab every time that you put the if statement. So this is actually indentation here. Look, you just have to put tab and then write. But if you don't put tab, then it would result in an error. So to avoid the error, just put a just click on the tab keyword on your keyboard, and yeah, if number is greater than 0, and then you're gonna write right inside of it if number is equal to 0, then it's gonna print number is 0. Print number is 0. Alright, now once you're done writing that, we're gonna write else number my bad, I forgot to write the print statement. So print the number is negative. Alright, now negative is negative, and then we're gonna write another else statement. Print print the number is positive. Alright, so once we run this code, wait, I think I made a mistake. So yeah, alright, wait a minute. Oh, okay, I see why. Wait a minute. Else print the number is positive. Now once you run this code, try to guess the output. It's gonna say the number is positive. That's because the number is in a -5. But if the number is greater than or equal to 0, so if -5 is greater than or equal to 0, yeah, that's true. Actually, it's false. So if number is equal to 0, -5 is not equal to 0. Print number is 0. Nope. Else the number is negative. So actually, wait a minute. I have to put in here the number is positive, and then here I'm gonna write the number is negative. Right, wait, the number is negative because -5 it could never be positive. I made a mistake again. So yeah, so the output is actually the number is negative. So that's because here it's false. All of these if statements, these are false, so it goes on to the else statement. Else print the number is positive. So if number is greater than or equal to 0, so this else statement is for the if statement here. So else the number is positive. Nope. But if the number is equal to 0, then it's gonna print. Then it's gonna proceed to the other else, which is the number is negative. So in this case, it went on to the number is negative. That's because this is the second else in here, which applies to this condition. So that this is why it ended up printing the number is negative. And yeah, guys, that was it for today's video. So please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, guys, have a nice day. Bye.